Welcome back everybody, it's me E-Man, and today we're going to review Captain America Civil War. Isn't that right, under Ruse?
Hey everyone.
Okay, let's jump into it and get into a quick intro. The Avengers are facing some heavy political pressure to hold them accountable for all of their past actions and activities. As a result, different ideologies are dividing Captain America and Iron Man. Okay, let's get straight into the good.
The good.
Similar to Captain America 2, within just a few minutes, we're thrown right into the middle of some action and high suspense that sets the tone for the rest of the movie. Almost every character gets their moment to shine and show off their different abilities throughout the whole film. The many different fight scenes are going to keep your eyes glued to the screen. There's rarely a dull moment, and the overall pacing of the film was done very effectively given the fact that it was a little over 2.5 hours long. I think it's also very safe to say that the airport scene is probably one of the best scenes in the entire film. Now there are so many little surprises that happen. Rarely do I get a chance to say this, but I think that the trailers did a pretty good job of not giving everything away. They changed them and altered them just enough that when you watch the movie, it'll still come off as feeling new. Now I should say by the time I filmed this, I had stopped watching all the trailers after the Spider-Man reveals. I don't know what Marvel decided to leak out or not. The themes and the writing were done in a very believable, coherent, and authentic way. The motivation of many of the characters never came off as forced or unnatural in my opinion, and this led to a lot of different plot twists that happened throughout the film, some of which were mildly predictable. It's actually kind of hard to choose a side between one of the characters because the moral lines were heavily grayed. As a fan of the Civil War comics, which is an excellent read by the way, I was very appreciative that Marvel was able to stay true to the themes and the feelings of the original source material, given the fact that they had to change a lot of details for the movie. They did a really good job of handling issues like the collateral damage of cities, the loss of life, and the responsibility of great power. What's even more interesting is how this film was able to maintain such a serious tone, but still find time to put in humorous moments. Of course, this didn't make the movie into a comedy, but it did stay true to that good old Marvel fun that we've all become accustomed to. So let's get into some of the characters. Now, it's no surprise that Spider-Man was going to be a major feature in this film. His scenes are probably one of the best highlights of the film overall, given his humor and the action that he does bring to the table. Luckily, what we see in the trailer is just a tiny glimpse of what's to come with Spidey. One thing that the trailer doesn't tell you is that Spidey is in this a whole lot more than you might think. Now, as for Zemo, I think that he made for a pretty good villain. I thought it was really interesting to see how his motivations drove all of his actions. Similar to how Tom Hiddleston's Loki character got developed, we're given a bit more complex villain in the character of Zemo. Black Panther, yes. He was awesome. And yes, I'm biased because he's the first black superhero. And because, you know, I'm black. I was so happy to see Chadwick Boseman bring this character to life. From his African accent, his sense of royalty, all the way down to his proficient cat-like ninja fighting style, he truly embodied what the Black Panther character always intended, and that's to always have a sense of pride in African culture. His role in the film definitely made me way more optimistic for the upcoming Black Panther film. Not only that, but Civil War still managed to serve as a platform to jumpstart other solo movies. I think that's more than enough. Let's get to the bad.
The bad.
What? There's some bad? I know, right? I was shocked too, but bear with me. There are only 2 issues that I had a problem with. But if you want to know what they are, you have to watch my spoiler review, which comes out Friday, May 6th, because they obviously contain spoilers. Let's get to the reason.
The reason.
I think it's safe to say that Marvel has done it again. Civil War had a lot of expectations going into this, and I think that most of them got met. Now, I know a lot of people want to compare this movie to Batman vs. Superman because they share a lot of similar themes. I think that while this may seem like a very natural comparison to make, I think it's also a little bit unfair to do so. You see, Batman vs. Superman had a completely different agenda. It was a setup movie for all other DC films that are coming up, not to mention the fact that they're trying to hurry up and play catch up in this comic book movie genre. Now, Civil War, on the other hand, is a solo movie for Captain America, which happens to also be a setup film for some other movies and continue the overall story arc within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think a much better comparison for Civil War would be to its predecessor, Captain America 2: Winter Soldier. So for example, Avengers Age of Ultron was compared best to Avengers 1. It had the same director and basically was trying to top what the previous movie had done. Unfortunately, Avengers 2 disappointed because it gave us more of the same and really didn't give us anything new to elevate the movie. All we got were superhero team-up moves and 3 new minor characters. Well, 2. I suppose if I had to compare the two, Captain America Civil War comes in slightly lower than Captain America Winter Soldier. I got to give the edge to Winter Soldier for originality. It was the first time we saw an espionage film that just so happened to have superheroes in it. It was the first time we saw superheroes cross into a different genre, thus making it rather hard to top that. All you can do is copy it, you can't top it. In my opinion, there was no real way for Cap 3 to be better than Cap 2. Civil War gives us more of the same of what we got in Cap 2, except for the fact that it does 2 things uniquely different. This time around, we're given 2 major characters in Spider-Man and Black Panther, and it accomplished the seemingly difficult task of juggling many characters all at once. The movie was probably about 55% Captain America's story, 25% new major characters, and 20% everybody else. So when it comes down to the rating for Captain America Civil War, I have to give it a 9 out of 10. Overall, Civil War was a very good movie. I'm not sure if IMAX or 3D is very necessary for this. When I saw it in my screening, it was a standard format and I was very pleased with what I saw. So maybe you could save a couple bucks with that. Also, at the end of my screening, there was only 1 mid-credit scene. If there is a final end credit scene later on, I'll make a note somewhere on this video and let you know. I'd say Civil War is a must-see in theaters and you could feel free planning your weekend to go and check it out. So let me ask you guys a quick question before I go. Which character in Civil War are you most interested in seeing? Let me know down in the comments down below. Now, if you're watching this, don't forget to come back here Friday, May 6th to check out my spoiler review of this film. Many of you have asked me to do spoiler videos, so I'm gonna try it this time and see how it goes. One more thing, I really want you guys to go see Civil War. I'm picking 8 lucky winners to receive a free movie ticket to go see Civil War. Compliments of your friendly neighborhood film critic. I'll post a link in the description below. If you're watching this on your mobile device, just click on the little eye up there. It'll take you to my main website that also has the link and the contest in there. Well, thank you for joining me. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at spoiler-free. And always check out my main website, emansmoviereviews.com, to get more of my reviews. As always, I got more reviews to do for you. And until then, I'll see you later.